The market slide has halted, showing that a bull run might be upcoming. Visa executives trash cryptocurrency. Privacy coins removed from the Coincheck exchange. We got all your headlines mixed with some daily market analysis. Your FUD TV daily update starts now. Diving in quickly, we are up to market cap of 316 billion, and wow, are we starting to make a run? Oh wow, this is really starting to come back as we hit this rock bottom at about 8 a.m. UCT time, and we see that we have just really hit this bottom about 275, 279, and then we rocketed back up, and we're already up at 313 billion, looking like we're going to start making some serious moves. And if we start getting over, we've already gotten over the resistance here around the sort of $300 billion mark, and now we're looking to sort of break through this resistance here at the $315 billion mark. As you can see, there was quite a bit of resistance here at 400 billion, so we'll see how we do as we get past the sort of 330 resistance marks. And now we're looking at the, then after that it would be like a 370 and then a 400. So hopefully we can keep this good momentum. It does look like this is kind of a rock bottom for us, this $275 billion market cap. And if we cruise over to the Bitcoin charts, we'll be able to see that we also bottomed out here on the chart, but it was nowhere near as bad as it was back on February the 5th. I find that pretty interesting that most of the money that was drained out over the last few hours was drained out of the alts. So Bitcoin's price is still kind of holding strong here as it didn't dip down under the 6,000 mark like it did back in February. It went as low as 7,500 or so, but really kind of stayed strong in that 7,000 range. So it looks like Bitcoin is holding itself there in the sevens and that it could start working its way back up. But we're seeing some promising movement right now, even in the last hour or so on the total market cap charts. And you can just see that since, about 2 hours ago, we've seen just really positive growth here. And we can look at the total market caps to see who's making this run. We can see Aeon, Encash, Nucleus Vision, Siacoin, IOTA. Obviously, IOTA is representing us at the G20 Summit, which we're going to do a separate video on. And we have Dragon Chain making some nice movement back here, getting up to 73 cents. And again, just some good projects with some solid minimal gains, not huge gains, but we're seeing some gains here, and maybe some of these gains get a little bit more extreme as we get into we see credits making a little bump back. But on the whole, we're seeing that twice now we've hit the $275 billion market cap level, and that has really been a floor, or something of a floor, we've been able to leap off of and create a bunch of positive growth from that number, and that seems like hopefully what we're about to be doing right now. And this time it would be lovely if we could keep up the momentum. Visa's chief financial officer, Vasant Prabhu, has gone on a rant insulting Bitcoin and claiming that it's associated only with dirty politics and criminal activities. He's, quote, shocked by misguided retail investors who know just enough about Bitcoin to be dangerous. He then goes on to make some downright discriminatory remarks about people who invest in Bitcoin and the types of people who talk about it, saying, the people who ask me are the ones who scare the hell out of me. Guys like the limo driver at the airport, they have no idea what they're doing. He goes on to say that this is clearly a bubble because this is the ultimate thing that you hear about when you hear about a bubble, when you have the guy shining your shoes that tells you what stocks to buy. He does go on to cite knowing your customer and anti-money laundering as reasons why Bitcoin are truly dangerous. But in reality, a publicly visible ledger has been proven over time to have a much better effect on stopping money laundering and illicit activity than the current cash system that we have. Overall, it's a pretty negative tirade from the Visa executive, but this shouldn't be that surprising considering Visa's business model is so directly affected by cryptocurrency. I'm also pretty disappointed at the level of factless and discriminatory rhetoric he uses in degrading Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency world. Hacked exchange Coincheck removes Dash, Monero, and other privacy coins from its offering. In the aftermath of this massive hack that went down on Coincheck, the Japanese exchange will no longer handle privacy coins such as Zcash, Dash, and Monero. Coincheck did effectively refund all of the stolen cash, about $440 million worth, to about 260,000 affected customers. So this has been a great example of an exchange really stepping up, taking responsibility, covering the losses, and then trying to comply as best as they can with regulations to make sure that they're playing within the rules. Honestly, nobody likes the R word, but in the end, we've got to have a rule, some code of conduct here, and regulation long-term is good for this industry if done right. This could honestly mean the beginning of a trend of privacy coins coming under scrutiny at the exchange level. Of course, all of this is upended once we get decentralized exchanges, but until that point, we really have to be cognizant of the moves that exchanges might have to be making to be within regulatory frameworks for the near future. And as you can see with this amazing visual here on Cointelegraph, of the big coins, IOTA is really one of the only ones who has good gains. And the reason why it does have those gains is because it's representing blockchains at the G20 summit. The reality is that we're seeing a lot of slip and slide, and investor confidence is not necessarily the strongest it's ever been. This is yet more of the same, to be honest, and it's very encouraging to me to have seen us hit rock bottom earlier today and to feel like this slide might have been halted now, having nothing to do with news, but having everything to do with the market just reaching a price that it has decided it doesn't want to go below. You know, I think people misunderstand that markets really do have lives of their own. They're like rubber bands. You can only stretch them so far before they get either pulled back or sort of lifted back up. You know, eventually the bears, they run out of stock to sell, and the bulls will start building back up and hodling and creating that demand again. So I think that these cycles are true, and while it's tempting to try to explain all of these slip and slides with big news events, the reality is that a lot of these are straight up market conditions that create these push and pull. And I do believe that this is a significant number in $275 billion that we're seeing here on the cryptocurrency total market cap, as we've seen some really good positive momentum since we hit that number right around 8 o'clock UTC time. As you can see, Bitcoin dominance is growing still, and it was as low as 20-something% for brief periods in January, but has steadily grown over the past 3 months. This crash has really led to an increase in BTC dominance. And as BTC dominance increases, the price of Bitcoin tends to increase as well. As we saw from June to December of last year with the crazy Bitcoin run, we could start to see the same evidence of a Bitcoin run developing here. So keep that in mind. It looks like Bitcoin is the new Bitcoin for now. And as it gets a little stronger, we can hopefully see a little more get pumped into these alts. Thanks so much for checking out our daily crypto update. If you enjoyed it, don't be afraid to smash that like button. It really helps us and YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Of course, if you're an investor, an enthusiast in the space, we do multiple cryptocurrency videos on this channel each and every day. So subscribing and hitting that bell notification is not a bad idea. I'm Elio Trades, you're watching FUD TV, and we were so happy to have you with us. We'll catch you very soon on the next episode.